The Space Foundation was founded here in Colorado Springs in 1983. A lot of people wonder why that is. The fact is Colorado is the third, if not second largest aerospace economy in the United States. We've been here at the Space Foundation headquarters. It's our world headquarters here in Colorado Springs. It's also home to this environment, which is the Space Foundation Discovery Center. The Discovery Center was opened just about 2.5 years ago, and it's really our face to the public. What we're best known for, or at least most widely known for, is the Space Symposium.
We have this annual conference here every year, which draws everyone in aerospace together to one spot here in Colorado Springs. And just can't say enough of all the important work that the folks here do.
Space brings out the best in us. And what I find still fascinating about space is it brings together people of all political stripes working together to, right now, to lower the cost of space exploration.
Space is huge. You know, you always hear about the big NASA programs. Sometimes you hear about some of the more government type Air Force defense programs, but there's so much more to that. It's not just NASA.
We launch spacecraft. We launch both to LEO, to GSO, which is geosynchronous orbit, and above. We do a lot of the NASA deep space missions to Mars. We've launched every single Mars rover.
In addition to a lot of innovative companies, both primary contractors and smaller companies in the aerospace industry, we have the United States Air Force Academy here and the United States Space Command here as well. Colorado has been for decades the center of innovation in aerospace. So a lot of the people in the industry got together and decided what we needed was an unbiased organization that could promote the industry and the reasons behind exploration to our elected officials without getting politically involved.
I want to make sure that the policies that impact companies and businesses that want to come here and do research and development and expand the space technology right here in our front yard, I want to make sure that they have the ability to do that.
This is the premier, I'd like to consider it the premier space policy symposium for the year. So it's important that NASA, as the leader in aerospace and deep space exploration, be here and have a presence.
The work that we do, the support that we provide to industry, I think, increases their tenacity here. It increases their belief that going forward, that whether it's NASA contracts or DoD contracts or private space, it's a powerful tool to have the Space Foundation at their side, advocating for the industry, advocating for growth, and advocating for continued funding.
This is an opportunity for the Space Foundation to be a convener, to be a facilitator, to bring people together, and so they talk, meetings happen. And so that's in one place, so people can come here and get a lot of business accomplished. In addition to the panels and the talks and things like that, they can can meet the people they need to meet. They can form collaborations that might not otherwise happen. Synergistic things happen when you bring people together in an event like the Space Symposium.
And to get that sort of international cooperation in real time, the benefits are almost incalculable. It's great networking. We get more work done in the 4 days of symposium than I could do in 6 months of travel.
Because all our major customers are at the same show at the same time. And usually we're visiting with the executives, the folks that actually make the final decisions on programs, and we're there to help support them in doing that. So it's one location we can come to have all those people available to us in 3 days. And just think how long that would take if we were to go out and visit each of these guys.
Folks will come here to meet everyone else in the industry, and it's a very exciting time because some of the countries that traditionally have not interacted much with the United States get a chance to come over and do exactly that.
Yes, making the right connections and giving other people ideas and getting new ideas ourselves about what we can do.
You take a look at everyone that is here. Every single major aerospace player is going to be here. So it's an opportunity to hobnob and kind of see the latest and greatest. And it's an opportunity for us to talk about what we are doing on the space station.
There's a lot of business deals that get done out there. And so for our companies, they save the expense of having to travel to somebody else's community to connect with people. It's all right here in town for them, and they can focus their efforts on making the connections and finding opportunities for new contracts and new business.
The Space Foundation's customer base is extremely wide. Of course, we initially worked with NASA and Air Force, the United States Air Force, but to a large degree we support all of the industry, the Northrop Grummans and Lockheed Martins and companies like that.
This year, record numbers. We have 1,200 organizations from 40 countries. And so Colorado Springs is not only becoming a nationally known destination, which it has, but now internationally people will see the beauty of the area, as well as year after year we keep on improving and increasing our international numbers. So I think that's just another benefit for the area in general. It's becoming more known throughout the world.
The Space Foundation's been one of our critical partners here locally. They are an international asset for our community. And one of the things we've learned is a strong, healthy community leverages those kinds of assets that they have here. And so for us, the Space Foundation, with all that they do, both here at their headquarters location, which is their worldwide headquarters, as well as the Space Symposium that they host here in town, is critical for us for growing that aerospace sector of our economy.
We have an incredible workforce here that just feeds right into the mission of the Space Foundation, the Space Symposium, and I can't say it enough, into the future.
It's the largest all-city event that happens in Colorado Springs and El Paso County, so it's a pretty big deal economically.
It's a multi-million-dollar event, whether it's filling hotel rooms or fleets of rental cars, restaurants being booked to overflowing, every kind of support industry from AV companies to security companies to travel agents. It's massive.
What's really significant about it, number one, is that it comes every year. And two, it comes in April, which is a shoulder season for us. It's not our prime season. So the number of people who actually work during that symposium is larger than any other time in the month of April. Be you a waiter, a waitress, a housekeeper, working over at the airport, people are able to work during this time frame when otherwise we're not nearly as busy as we would be in June, July, and August.
If they're looking to grow, this is a great community for them to grow. They're going to get the support they need, and they're going to have the ability to succeed here.
We relocated our headquarters from California here to Colorado in 2008, and so we've been continuing to grow in the community. Our office is downtown Colorado Springs, and we're continuing to have a community presence with that. We have a number of outreach programs in addition to that Braxton is heavily involved with.
We are actually currently moving our headquarters to Colorado Springs. We're going to be at the Catalyst campus, which we're extremely excited about. It's an integration platform with other companies, like a think tank, to bring together aerospace industry to Colorado Springs, bring additional jobs and business to Colorado. So we're very excited to be a part of that.
Often, people who end up moving here first came here on a visit of some sort, be it a vacation, be it on business. They come, they see the region, they learn about the cost of living here, and they say, I'd like to move here.
They have a fantastic discovery center that draws tens of thousands of visitors out there every year to go see. The exhibits are world-class exhibits. They're constantly rotating stuff in.
Big part of our mission is to improve public awareness and appreciation of the very practical benefits of space exploration. And that's everything from medical care and transportation and security to some of the clothing we wear and improvements in temperature regulation. So the Discovery Center is our face to the public in that respect.
You go out there and you see the energy of all the people, and some of them are people that probably will not have a part in the symposium. They won't go to it because that's not their thing, but they can come here and they can see what's here and take advantage of everything that we have here at the Discovery Center. So I think it's a great place to blend the community and the space community that's come here.
We engage students and teachers, and that in turn drives future growth.
It's important to go out and educate the public, especially the kids, get them excited about space exploration. But it goes even beyond that, because even if you're not interested in space exploration, I think the space program inspires you just by the accomplishments of the space program.
Space, since the beginning of the space race, as it was called, has been an inspiration to engineers, to children who look up and see astronauts doing heroic and terrific things.
For example, during the Apollo era, I think everyone, even artists and musicians and writers, were inspired by the events to go out and reach a little higher and try a little harder. So
that inspiration translates into effort. Students who would have not focused on the difficult courses do so because they see the exhibits here. They meet astronauts during our astronaut audience with an astronaut program. So what we try to do is keep it fresh. We try to move things around. We try to look at things from different angles, and certainly replace some of the exhibits as soon as we're able. The Science on a Sphere behind me is a wonderful example of interactive technology where the students can look at hundreds of data sets, but also ask questions. It's educational. One of the things that we've found through research is that our science on a sphere here, and there are a few hundred of them around the world, is used much differently than in most places. In most places, people see science on a sphere as almost a video. It's things to see and they move on after a minute or two. What we do here is conduct classroom sessions, and you'll see the bleacher seating. On average here, it's half hour, 45 minutes to an hour, where people aren't just looking at things and getting what I call eye candy. They're actually learning about the universe. They're learning about scientific missions. They're learning about missions that are planned for the future.
One of the great things is we have been able to work with our partners after 30 years in this business and bring lots of exhibits and hardware and things into this facility for people to interact with that we really couldn't do otherwise. Millions and millions of dollars of investment that we're able to negotiate because of the long-standing support that we've had both in the space community and here in El Paso County as well.
The students that come here end up involved in our International Student Art Contest, where we have, I think last count was something on the order of 53 countries, 7,100 entries, virtually every U.S. state and several territories. To see them engaged at that level and to see some of them win and get their artwork shown at the symposium, displayed here at the Discovery Center, to see to the extent that these students at such a young age are so engaged and so accurate and very specific in expressing themselves is very satisfying. When you see a group of students and one student answering 7 out of the 10 questions, that's pretty amazing. To see these children doing as well as they do reassures me. You can become skeptical sometimes, and these children fill your cup. It's just amazing to see how they engage and how they're moving forward. It's very inspiring in the other direction, if you will.
Not everybody knows how hard we work in the education arena and how all of the resources that we're able to generate from the Space Symposium actually get plowed back into this community and plowed back into education programs and plowed back into technology like this and facilities like this that can help us to educate the next generation and inspire the next generation.
Putting that hard work in translates into amazing things. Amazing things include scientific discoveries. Amazing things include taking technologies that were developed for space and turning them into products and services that save lives on Earth, that improve life on Earth.
So if you want to be part of these discoveries, learn algebra. Algebra is very important, and then consider a career in aerospace.
Next year I'm going to be going to Boulder to major in aerospace engineering, and this is really fun.
I've always wanted to pursue a career that has to do with space, and I think this is really helping me figure that out.
This place I only imagine in movies and just stories that people had, but now that I've been here I could share my experience here, and I just feel like I want to come back after today.
That crucial part of our mission is to ensure that the public appreciates the importance of space exploration, the importance of pursuing STEM education, or STEAM as it's known now, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. Crucial to anything involved in space exploration.
The nation needs these kids to be connected to math and science because we need innovators of the future.
In NASA, STEM is very important to us, STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and math, because that generation is the future workforce and it is the future explorers of the world. So NASA has a responsibility to reach out to those kids, educate them, and inspire them. And we love doing it. And because they are very important to us as a nation and maintaining our leadership in space exploration.
We deal with kids as early as kindergarten, all the way up through graduation in high school, and really we maintain a focus all the way through their college career until they graduate.
We work with UCCS, we do a lot of internship programs, co-op programs, and we really want to promote technology for teachers.
We have 15 girls STEM clubs that we support through UCCS, predominantly middle school girls. A few clubs have some high school girls, but we're trying to get girls interested in science, technology, engineering, and math.
Kids, and especially women and underrepresented minorities, need multiple touches. They need to be reminded, and they need to be told in different ways why it's important to be interested in math and science, that it is interesting.
Getting all of our kids to study more science and engineering and math is important for our nation. I think we're losing our competitive edge in terms of our innovation and technology, and we really need to get our kids excited again about innovation and technology and engineering.
Our education enterprise reaches all 50 states. We've touched dozens of countries, and our audience, our customers are international in nature now. We have teacher liaisons, which is an extension of our own staff. These teachers that do the best work within our programs go out and spread the word for us.
I'm considered a specialist, so all students grades K through 6 visit me as a special. They get to see me for 40 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and during that time we're pretty intensive in the science realm.
I learned about it through attending the state Colorado Science Teachers Association back in October, and I met, I think, a teacher liaison there who was actually doing a workshop, and she was talking about it, and we talked and discussed, and I actually found the application process online, and my principal wrote me a recommendation letter, and it took me a couple of days to do the application, and I found out at the end of January that I had been selected.
We can come here every year and we go through one day of training, so that was today. We also get to meet astronauts and go to the exhibit center and meet people, and through that we're able to take that back to our buildings and teach science to kids through all subjects.
I think that the Space Symposium is doing a wonderful job bringing teachers together and connecting them in such a way that they exchange ideas, they exchange their problems, they exchange their victories. And this sharing of information is exactly what is required for all of us to reach further than we have ever gone before.
And we have teachers coming this year to Symposium to be recognized from India, among other countries.
This is the third time India has been represented at the Space Foundation's Teacher Liaison Program. And every year we have teachers apply to become teacher liaisons.
The teachers from India are phenomenal in that they're implementing it into the arts all over with PE, language arts, geography, and we're definitely sharing lesson plans and ideas on how to do that, so that's very powerful.
I guess everybody is our audience when it comes down to it, whether it's helping lawmakers and elected officials understand the importance of funding, to showing a 7-year-old child why it's important to pursue STEM education, because one day that person may be an engineer or an astrophysicist. Our work is cut out for us.
Think about what it is that you have a passion for, what is your dream, and then figure out a plan and a route, and figure out a plan how you're going to get there, and have the courage to go ahead and go after it.
Take advantage of every chance you have to learn about science, because it's our future. It's where we're going to go. You have the opportunity to go to Mars maybe in the future and be our future leaders in space.
Ensuring that next generation of explorers, that next generation of engineers and astrophysicists and mathematicians is there to carry on the work is, in my mind, the most important thing we do.
I mean, kids think about it in different ways, but ultimately you set that spark in them at a young age, and you just never know what's going to turn into a huge fire of science in the future.
Please come on down and visit us at the Space Foundation Discovery Center. We're right up of Garden of the Gods in Arrows West. We would love to have you, your children, your students, come and see us, come interact with what we're doing, learn more about what we do, and become part of the next generation of space exploration.
Visit the Space Foundation Discovery Institute. It is such a wonderful, wonderful facility. Science on a Sphere will just amaze you. As far as being a teacher liaison, please apply for the program. It is an amazing, amazing group of people. I am so honored to be a part of it.
We're less than 50 full-time employees here, but we have literally hundreds of volunteers. People from the armed forces, people from education and academia, people that are retired, just people that are interested in wanting to contribute, especially here at the Discovery Center where they get to interact with the leaders of tomorrow. Hundreds of these people come through and make this mission possible. It simply wouldn't occur without their help. So not only want to thank the cadre of volunteers that we have, but to put out a request to the folks here in El Paso County and beyond that if you're interested in working with our students, if you're interested in interacting with people in the industry, we have all sorts of opportunity. And just give us a call and we'll find something interesting for you to do.